sugar-coated doll is not so pure. My bad, I don't give a. You're stepping on me and they call my mama. Touch you better than that. You're mad, I guess you're mad. Wore my best pajama for this drama. Why you talking like that, like that, like that? I'm not gonna spend the night, I'm talking. You got bad things on your mind, keep walking. Spit your words on someone else. Don't act like you're so obsessed with me, with me. You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well come as a bitch, get ready for this. Tries my best, confess. You hate me wearing the pants. If you weren't so damn obsessed with making me a perfect lie. Makeup is out, naturals in, letting my skin glow out. You're taking shit if you don't like this. You still live in your man's world. I'm not gonna spend the night, I'm talking. You got bad things on your mind, keep walking. Spit your words on someone else. Don't act like you're so obsessed with me, with me. You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well come as a bitch, get ready for this.
Get ready for this.
You know that I ain't coming back, I'm sorry. Read my lips, you do not like that. You're drowning without me. Take it all back, but if you want my sympathy, honey, well come as a bitch, get ready for this.
Get ready for this.
Step 1, wake up early, gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
everybody. Okay, let me get to the top. I'm so excited. Hi, Pam. Hi, Kiki. Hi, Arrow. Hi, Patty. Hi, Riley. Hi, Carl. Let's see. Hi, Amy. You guys, I'm so excited. All right. I'm going to totally be honest. Every day this week, I have sat in front of the computer ready to go live, and I psych myself out every single time. Hi, Jarella. Hi, Harlem. And so today I was sitting back here and I started doing graphics and this. I'm like, no, Danny, just stop. And so I didn't even schedule it. I just went live. I was like, you got to do it. Hi, Sense of Wonder. How is everybody? I missed you guys. If anybody hasn't heard, we have a big trip coming up the 31st. Amy, Carlotta, I believe Lilith is coming now. So we're all going to visit Nick. So I'm sure there'll be lots of live streaming while we're there. We got some fun stuff planned. I woke from my you coma and you're back too. Carlotta, there must have been a fine mist over all of us that knocked us out. Hey, Nick. I know, I'm so excited for the trip. You guys, I so need this. I'm so excited to meet Carl and Lilith and Amy. I already met Nick. Nick is my sister from another mister. I hear there's going to be a there is Pam. Pam, would you do me a favor and can you share Peggy's channel link? Hold on, I gotta text her and tell her I'm live. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Hi, Chris. I wonder who it will be. If you walk on water, I'm out of there. So, we are going to be staying in a cabin, and so all of us will be together. I had to, out Carl because she thought she was going to stay in a hotel. No. Okay, good luck, Nick. Be safe. If my feet disappear, you shall see it. Hi, Amy. Thank you. All right, y'all. Do you want to catch up more or shall we dive right in? You guys remember when I covered Rosalie, mom of 8 kids, right? She's the one who her husband had passed, and she had filmed herself doing kind of like a vlog telling about her husband passing. And people on the internet got really mad because she waited 3 months to to post that video. And so people felt that she was being dishonest and that she came on here grifting for money, and it wasn't true. It was true. He had been passed for 3 months, but guys, if you had 8 kids with a man and you had been with this woman has been with him since she was like, I can't remember if it was 16 or 8. She was very young. She was a teenager and he was like 40. And she has been with him since, and they have 8 kids together. So 3 months, I'm sorry, is nothing. I would still be a wreck with 8 kids and my spouse gone after 3 months. So I didn't really feel like that was a big thing. I didn't feel like it was deceptive or anything like that because like I said, I would be a mess after 3 months too, and it may have taken her that long to be able to get up the gumption to post it. Hi, Lilith. Hi, I missed you guys, all of you guys. So anyways, She kind of does like, a video here and there. She's not real active on YouTube, but she does post. So yesterday, and I'm going to thank Kiki for this. Kiki brought it to my attention that she had posted yesterday. And after watching the video, both Kiki and I were like mind blown. So I thought, what better way to go over this than with y'all? All right, let me share. All right, guys. So I haven't been here for a while, so let me know if you cannot hear her. I'm so excited seeing you guys all talk to each other in my chat.
Hello, my friends. It's Rosalie, mom of 8 kids, coming to you today with a heavy heart.
She looks pretty rough too. Hi, PG. Is sound okay, guys? Now, I don't know how much talking I'm going to do through the video because I really want you guys' opinions. There's a lot to unpack in this video, and I'm really interested to see what everybody thinks. Sound is good. Sounds good. Lilith, you trying to... We will let you know if you hear yourself. Thank you, Patty. Y'all remember. I love you for that. Thanks, PG. Okay, here we go.
It's late at night, and I've discovered a lot of things that had been happening with my kids. What I wanted to, I guess,
just a little bit of like background for anybody that doesn't remember, because it's been a while since I covered her, because like I said, she's not super active. But so like I said, she met her husband when she was really young, and went and married him. Her family all wrote her off. So for the past 20 years or whatever, since she left with her husband, she really has had nobody but her husband and her children. So her children are very isolated, very, what's that word? Sheltered. So that puts this video into a little bit more perspective for you guys.
I guess first fill you in is our family always stuck to ourselves. We live in a low-income area. I live in government housing, so this is a low-income area.
I love you. Thank you, Patty.
And our family is a good family, and my kids are happy kids, in spite of their father passing away last summer.
You know what really got me too, Kiki, is there's a point in this. So she's going to start talking about her kids made friends in the neighborhood, which is an unusual thing. Like she just said that the family kind of has always stuck to itself. So, the kids obviously have kids to play with because there's 8 kids in the family, but they didn't really branch out, make friends outside of the family. And so, and I don't know, this is complete speculation. So, take it with a grain of salt. I really feel like the dad was very controlling. The fact that he was with her so young, all of her family was not in the picture. The only people in the picture were her and these kids. So it's a very, very tight family. So the kids start making friends outside of the family, and that's what her video is about. But I find it really odd because at one point she says that the kids are more sad about what happens here than about their father passing. They were all homeschooled. Hi, Waldo. Yeah, all of them were homeschooled. Section 8 has bad kids. Yeah. I got to say about this woman in YouTube is not the place, coming from a dad who died when I was 7 and my own husband dying with children. Yeah. Yes, I've heard that as well, Jarella. I don't know if that's true, but yep, I have heard that. And I do think, honestly, I think that and I, like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know them personally, it's just speculation, but I do feel like this dad was very, very controlling because out of like they have a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and it goes down. I think the youngest is like 4. But all these years they never branched out from the family. They never went outside and played with other kids. That's why I'm thinking that the dad was, like, really controlling and didn't allow that. Yes, see, that's exactly how I feel. Hi, Kristen. Yeah, right, Kristen, and that is what I find really odd because she says in this, this video, she says it herself that, the kids are more upset about this situation than they were about their dad passing. That kind of says volumes to me because if they were that tight and the only people in their lives were the mom and the dad and each other, then wouldn't you be devastated for something to happen? No, thank you, Premier. Okay, here we go.
A few months ago, Deity
Yes.
made a new friend on the street, and he just lives a couple houses down. So they were playing together pretty much every day, and of course, since Passion comes out too to play with her older brother Deity, and my little girl who is 4, she comes out as well to play. Once my kids started to mingle with some other kids on this street, I've come to find out that some bad things have been happening, and it hurts my heart. So what happened is okay, a few months ago they started hanging out with some other kids on the street. First it was one.
Doesn't one of them has two, Kiki? One of the kids has a name that kind of makes you think that they're white supremacists. I can't remember which one it is, but like they all kind of have different types of names, like she said, Deity, Adonis, like they're very different names.
And then another one, kids playing attract other kids. One kid in particular, I'll just call him G. Well, anyway, today when my kids came inside the house from outside, my kids are typically happy. They came in through the door, and I didn't see Deity, but I saw Passion. And she looked sad. So I asked her, I said, "What's the matter? Did you get hurt or something? Everything okay?"
Okay, here's where I want you guys to pay attention, and I want your opinion on how she handled this whole situation.
She didn't really say much. Then I heard one of my older boys,
She does, Kiki.
say to them in a joking way, "Oh, did you have fun playing out with your friends?" And I looked. It was Adonis that said that. And my oldest, Aaron, was right beside Adonis, and he said, "Deity looks depressed." So I wasn't sure what was going on, and I noticed that I wanted to see Deity, like, what is Arian talking about? And Deity wasn't around. So I knew when he wasn't around,
The other one.
in the living room or the kitchen, I knew he'd probably be up in his bed, and that's where he was, and he was very distraught. They weren't even like this.
Yes, right, Lilith?
When it came to their father's passing, they were not sad. Like, it was just so hurtful to see the look on his face. And what he said is that this kid,
She acts, like it totally devastated her to see her kids upset, which, any one of us that's a parent, of course it does. We want to take away all the all the bad, all the negative, that our kids run into in life. But that's part of them growing up and learning.
Kid G told Deity, my son, and he's 11 years old, this G kid, that he was going to kill himself. 11 years old. Deity was crying.
Yeah, let me get a trigger warning up.
I told him, don't believe it. He's not going to do that. And he said, well, I saw him choke himself the other day when they were playing in the backyard. This was another friend's backyard, and he was choking himself, and Deity tried to stop him, and he wouldn't let Deity stop him. And Deity started crying. And I said, Deity, how do you know he wasn't just going like this and pretending like And Deity was quite convinced that he was actually choking himself. And then he said, well, he's nice. He wiped my tears away after. And I said to him, Deity that is, I said, he's hurting you. I said, not like he punched you, but he's hurting you up in here.
So the strangling thing, Kiki, the first thing I thought of is, how there's always weird trends that kids get into? I heard not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago, I heard that is a trend, that kids are doing that to themselves to get to like a point like right before they're ready to like pass out, and it gives them a sort of high. So that's the first thing I thought of when she talked about this part of it.
I told him, I don't remember the exact words of what I said, but I tried to explain to him that, not everybody's the same. There are some good people, there are some bad people. There's nobody on this planet that is 100% bad. There's always going to be some good parts, but we call them bad or we call them good because if they're bad, then what we're saying is that the bad parts are more than the good parts, or that they outweigh the good parts. I don't know how much he understood, to be honest. I know that these types of people that are abusive, they operate all the same way. I know this because I had been in one prior.
Okay, let's I want to get you guys' opinions. Maybe because my life is filled with mental illness all around me. It runs in my husband's family, it runs in my family. So maybe I'm a little bit more sensitive to it. But it bothers me that she's referring to this child as abusive. This is a child. Her take on this, okay, she tried to talk to him, good on that, but why make him worry more? Is she calling? Yes, Kristen, thank you. Yes. Like I have a real issue. I think she, and I think she knows she handled this improperly because she pleads in this video. She pleads with her audience, like, did I do the right thing? Did I handle this correctly? And in my opinion, no, she did not handle this correctly.
Prior to coming together with my husband. So that was this G kid. I told him, if he ever comes around our house again, let me know. I told all the kids that if this kid comes around our house, let me know, because I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him never come here again. I don't want any of my kids.
Okay, as a parent, you can't just shut the world out from your kids. I understand that this was probably and this would be traumatic, I believe, for any child, but even more so for her children because they are not used to interacting with people outside of their little family. So, yeah, I can see where this would be traumatic, but abusive?
Kids
He
to
was
play with this guy
confiding in a
again.
friend.
My son Julius called him abusive, weird. I'd say he's nuts. He's a psycho. Because what kind of kid? Like, I said to Dady, like Dady was surprised when I said I'm going to tell him not to come around here anymore. I don't want you playing with him. He was surprised.
Patty, that's what floors me is she never talks to the parents. She doesn't go like that would be the first thing on my mind would be going to the parents, getting this child help. That is a cry for help. Whether my opinion on it is anytime somebody makes that threat or that claim, take it seriously. Because yes, there's people out there that will use that for, attention seeking or whatever, but in my opinion, whether they're really contemplating it or not, for them to come out and say that to somebody, that's a cry for help.
And I said, Dady, do you think that that is normal for a kid to say that they want to kill himself? I can't help but wonder where he got this idea from. I said, normal kids, they don't want to do that. They want to play. They want to have fun. They don't tell other kids they want to kill themselves. I have no doubt that there are some psychological problems going on and probably a lot more to contribute to this kind of behavior. So, Dady was...
Okay, you guys are having the same the same response that I did. I'm sorry, but this made me change how I feel about her. Like I did have sympathy and stuff toward her through this whole thing. I mean, yeah, you guys could get that by how I, explained it in the beginning of this video. But to be that callous when it comes to a child making those threats, she has I get it. Like we're all going to put our own children first. Of course. You don't want, somebody else's problems, harming your own children or whatever. I get it. As a parent, we're going to protect our own first. But she has zero care for the fact that this is a child crying out for help. She calls this child a psycho. Like, what is wrong with you?
Was quite distraught, quite hurt, and this stuff that has been going on, Passion told me at another point in time tonight, she had to talk to me too, because I don't remember how the conversation came up. It was just before bedtime, and she was in bed. That's right, I remember now. She said she was mad. And I asked her what she was mad about.
And I'm pretty sure Passion is like she's one of the younger ones. I want to say she's like maybe 7 or so. So at 7, you totally would not know how to take in that kind of information. So she needed mom. She needed mom to explain everything to her. Did mom handle this correctly?
Because she said she wouldn't be able to fall asleep because she's mad. Okay, what are you mad about? I said. And she told me about this G guy and how she had already told me before that he came up with this game. It's called Bob. What is it? It's not Simon Says. It's called Bob Says. And it's pretty stupid. I heard about it already from Passion, and the way it goes is you have to do what he says, and if you do the wrong move, then he yells at you. He doesn't just yell at you. I heard them one time, out in the backyard, and I was wondering, who is that? Who's saying that? Because I heard I heard him say things like, "Are you effing retarded?" Like yelling out loud like that, and I didn't know who it was because I couldn't see it. This was
Now, that is abusive. But again, this is a child. Like, I don't know. We have, I've said it a lot on this channel that, our house has always been the hangout house. We've had kids in and out of here for, nearly 30 years. We're the hangout house. I've run across a lot of kids. That all of this is a cry for help. Instead of, how she does handle it, that you should have been, reaching out to this child's family. Plus, why didn't you go out there and do something? If you heard this kid using that language, why did you not go outside and correct them? Like, obviously, this child is not learning these things at home. And, we have kids that, grew up at our house and still come. Our boys are gone, they're married, have their own homes, and we still get visits from these boys that hung out with our boys growing up, because they appreciated that somebody took the time to explain these life things to them that, no one else was explaining.
This was in another kid's backyard, so there were bushes around, and I didn't recognize the voice or anything. I didn't know who was saying that. I didn't even know exactly if it was coming from that neighbor's yard or if it was coming from behind the yard, because we got a close, the buildings are really close on our street, and even behind our street they built them really close. So I wasn't even 100% sure if it was coming from that yard, but I had asked her about it because I was fairly certain it was coming from that yard.
It's so good to see you. I miss you.
And so the other day I had asked about this incident that I heard, and Passion told me about this Bob's game, and I said, well, that doesn't sound like fun. I said, that sounds like a dumb game. Who wants to get yelled at? And she said, well, it's fun. Well, maybe at first. Because what she also said is that
Hi, Peggy.
Sometimes what he does is he pushes her on the trampoline, and that's when they play this game, this Bob Says game. And I said, well, tell him to stop. She said, well, he's bigger than me. I said, so? And I said, if you're having trouble, then get Daddy to help you out, because they always play together, My 3 there, in Victory too, he goes out sometimes.
My kids are very close too, but your kids have to be close because they have no other socialization other than each other. So of course they're going to be close.
But he's older, so it's up.
And the thing is too, Kiki and I talked about this a little bit. Like the older kids, I don't know about you guys, but when I turned 16, I could not wait to get a job and have my own money. I don't think her 20-year-old, her 18-year-old, her 16-year-old, I don't think they work. Can you please drop your link, Peggy?
It's up to him whether he goes out or not. He doesn't always feel like it. So Deity, Passion, and Empress, they're all close in age. And so Empress wants to go out if Deity's going out. Passion goes out. Passion wants to go out if Deity's going out. And that's the way it works. So
Randy,
it got to the point, like it usually does with people that are abusive, where it gets worse. So it's gone from pushing her on the trampoline to today. He said, everybody attack Passion. And that hurt her. She got hurt. And she said she was trying to kick them off of her. And this was terrifying to her. So that is the one kid. There's another kid. I tried to explain it to my daughter, Passion, okay, there's like bad, and there's really bad, and there's good, and there's really good, and it's really hard to
And so a child using a threat of S makes them really bad?
find really good people, even really good kids.
No, Jarella. Fresh flowers,
So
hi.
this G kid, he's like really bad. Moving on to the next kid, who I will not say their name. The next kid, I told Passion, is bad. Not as bad as really bad, but still bad.
This just reminds
This
me
kid,
of, like, we're taught as parents, you don't call your children bad. You may say they are acting badly, but your child in and of itself is not bad. And she's not pulling out any stuff. She's like, these kids are bad. They're troubled. Yes. That's why you get on the phone and you call their parents, like a responsible parent.
I
Hi,
didn't like him already because I didn't like how he comes knocking on our door a lot, and he wants to play with Daddy, and if Daddy doesn't feel like it, he'll try and force Daddy to come and play outside with him. And the way he does that is he becomes really bossy. He actually starts to become unruly with his behavior. He'll like I didn't know this at the time that I heard this going on, because one time I was in the kitchen and
I have this this routine every morning when my daughter leaves for school. I always say, have a good day. I love you. Learn stuff and make wise choices. Like, if I don't say that, my daughter's going to be like, Mom, are you okay? Because I say it every single day and I have her whole life of school.
and it was at the kitchen door that was open. And Daddy told him that he wanted to eat first. And he's like, no, come on. And he's like getting angrier, like, and more forceful with his words and trying to get Daddy to go out and play with him.
You know what I kind of feel like, Jarella? I kind of feel like her growth, her maturity growth was like stunted. I mean, she was so young when she ran off with her husband, and he was 40 years old. I think he controlled the entire family dynamic, and now he's gone, and she's a single mom of 8, and she has to learn all these things that she didn't have to learn all those years because he was in control of everything.
And I said to Daddy, you go out if you want. I said, if you want to eat, you eat, okay? And I said,
her name is Rosalie. Her channel is Mom of 8 Kids. So over the last summer, her husband had died. She's been with
loud enough so that this kid could hear, because the door.
She's been with her husband since young. I don't know, somewhere between 16 and 19, I believe. She ran off with this man that was 40 years old. Her family totally disowned her. So for the past 20 some years, her husband has been in complete control. The 8 kids never played outside of their own family. They're all homeschooled. So they don't get socialization. And when she first came on to YouTube, it was a big uproar because when he passed, she videotaped herself like a vlog of, figuring things out that she had to figure out right away. And she, of course, she was asking for donations because, he's gone and she has 8 kids and she doesn't work. And so people got really, really angry because what she did was she waited 3 months. After the 3 months, then she posted the video of, like her after the first day or two of him passing. So, how how we are on YouTube, people were really mad, felt that she was being deceptive because it wasn't just today that he passed, which, she was saying in the video, because she did film it right when he passed. So people were really mad about that. I personally was not mad about it because 3 months, 3 years, like 8 kids. You've never been with anybody else your entire life. You've never lived your adult life without this person. I would think after 3 months, she would still be in devastation.
The door was open. And then I told Deity afterwards, I said, this kid is bossy. And he said, yeah, I know. I said, Arian.
I believe so, Arrow. I don't think she put, hi, Sharpay. Telling about her husband passing. I felt bad for yes, me too. Me too, Sharpay. This one is probably gonna, that's why there is, no, I don't think so, Purple Glitter. Like Kiki and I were both saying last night, it feels like a very odd religious kind of cult type situation, but never have I gotten anything from any of her videos that, kind of gives us a hint as to what religion it would be. So I don't know that there is actually, religion in the family. So, Sharp, Sharpay, you did watch it, so you know what this one's about.
Had a friend too, when he was like in grade 7, that was pretty bossy. And what happened is that eventually Arian wasn't friends with him anymore.
Yes, Jarella. And you know what was so weird? Do you remember in the beginning, she was terrified that they were going to arrest her for neglect of her husband because of him, being passed out on the floor and him being not alive. And I don't know how long he was on the floor before they realized that he was not alive, because she said it was kind of a regular occurrence for him to pass out on the floor, that he was on some really heavy medication, I think for his back or something. He was on really heavy medication, and if he took more than one pill, basically without her coming right out and saying it, she told us he abused his medicine. And so if he took more than he was supposed to, he would pass out wherever he was. And it just so happened this time it was in the kitchen. So she was so afraid that she was going to get in trouble for neglect. And she was scared to death because, first responders had to come into her house, and her house was such a wreck.
I was trying to give Deity a clue, a hint, but he didn't catch it, I guess. And I thought, well, Deity's old enough, he can handle himself. Well, it's gotten to the point where now if this kid isn't getting what he wants, if Deity doesn't want to go out and play with him because he comes every single day and knocks on our door more than once a day, then he'll take trash and he'll throw it in through the door before the door shuts, like a act of vengeance. Now, I know that kids growing up are egocentric. However, I don't think it's normal when a child will swear at his mother because they are not getting their.
I agree with her. My kids would never dream of swearing at me, but that's because they've been taught that. But my kids have also been taught that you don't speak to other people that way. Your kids aren't even around other people for you to use that as a learning tool, as far as this is how you act in society. They have no clue. Your 20-year-old has no clue how to go out and live life because it's been such a controlled environment.
Their way. I think that is a big problem. My kids have, you've seen my videos, I told Deity, I said, a child should love their mother just like their mother loves them.
Yes, in a perfect world, a child should love their mother, but all of us were not blessed to be born into a world where our parents did what was best for us. it's unfortunate, but it's true. There is a lot of messed up kids out there because they come from a lot of messed up families. They didn't do this to themselves. They weren't taught, they weren't raised properly. Um, and my feeling is she's adding to all of that by what she's telling them. Telling them this kid is a bad kid because he's suicidal? What? You don't know what, maybe yeah, they shouldn't be swearing at the parents or whatever, but you don't know how these parents are with them, if that's where, how they're feeling, if that's how they're acting out when they play with other children.
So what happened is when they were at his house, and when he doesn't get his way, like he wanted this play thing to be set up, and his mother didn't do it or didn't want to do it, and so he used the F word and swore at her. That is a big sign of disrespect. And I'm not pretending to be like a parental, I don't know, what do they call those, parental guru, or one of these doctors that writes a book on how to parent. That's not it at all. I'm talking common sense. Common sense tells you that a kid...
Common sense. Apparently, we don't come from the same background or something, because common sense tells me that if a child at that age is speaking of the S word, they need help. Something is going on in their life that they need help. That's a cry for help. If your kids, luckily your kids talk to you. I always say that about my kids too. Thankfully, my kids talked to me about pretty much everything. Your kids confided in you about this, and you made the situation worse for them. You're telling them that this child is an abusive child, that this child is psycho, that this child is a very bad person. You don't know what put this child in that frame of mind.
Kid that does that, talks that way to their mother, is disrespecting them. And that is a deep-rooted, deep-seated problem that won't get fixed overnight. So I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. So let me try and explain this to you as plainly as I can. My kids are hurt and twisted.
And you hurt them and twisted them even more in your response.
Their thinking has been twisted, their emotions have been hurt, and I have to now undo this effect that has been done onto them. Oh, I forgot. My daughter, Empress, is also repeating some of the bad language that she heard this G or this other kid say. And they've really only been playing with these two.
Gee, I almost feel like she was still a kid, basically, when she got with her husband and left home. And I feel like that's how her husband was. He wanted to control every situation and everything. So now, like, I feel like she's in this thought process that she has to be that parent that controls everything around them.
Regularly, they play with some other kids, but not regularly, only if they come around. So my daughter Empress is now talking in ways that I know isn't her normal way of talking. For example, she wanted me to peel and cut up an apple for her the day before yesterday. And I said, I'm going to do it. And she said, well, then do it. I looked at her and I said, you don't talk that way, Empress. Nobody in our family talks like that. I could tell she felt embarrassed. But it's true. We don't talk to each other like that. She also said something else too that we don't say in our family. They were jumping around, and Empress said, oh, she was trying to be funny, of course. She said, oh, you hurt my D-I-C-K. And I looked at her and I said, Empress, you don't even have one. I said, where do you get that from? Where do you get this kind of talk from? I said, that's, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something like that's dumb talk or that's stupid talk. I said, you must be getting that from some other kids or something. You know, like, and then she said this, or I can't remember who it was. It was either Empress or Passion. They picked up another word. And so I knew where this was coming from, you know, and so, like I said, was it weakness?
We had friends years ago when my sons were young. Excuse me. And their little girl took, you know, those like chain choker collars for a dog. I don't even know why they had it because they didn't have pets. But she took one of those chains and she like was spinning it around, like whipped it at my oldest son. So, of course, my son retaliated. We stopped hanging around with those people, not because of the child, not because the child was bad or whatever, but because of how the parent handled that situation. One of them could have really gotten hurt. It was a chain. One of them could have really gotten hurt, and they did not discuss with her whatsoever, you know, that what she did was wrong or that it could have really hurt him. That's why we stopped hanging around with them. It wasn't the child's fault. It was the parents' fault because they didn't explain to this kid that we don't act like that. We don't do those things. There's consequences. People get hurt.
That I let them play with the other kids on this street. I know how that sounds. I know that sounds pretty crazy. You see, my husband would have been of the approach not to bother taking a chance. So, keep to ourselves.
Sharpay, I don't know if that was to me or to somebody in chat. If it was to me, thank you so much.
It's, you know, that way you avoid the inevitable, as he would see it. I was more of the approach of, well, let's see, you know, like, well, okay, you can play with them, and then in my head I'm thinking, well, we'll see. We'll see if they're a good friend or if...
See, Flowers, I've been with my husband since I was 16. And I remember when we started dating, because of course everybody says, you know, you're going to be in love 500 times before you find the one and blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what we believe as a society. Excuse me, get my tongue in straight. We believe that, you know, young love doesn't last and there will be more to come and blah, 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 blah. We've now been together for 36 years. But my neighbor said to me back then, she said, young love can last. The problem is you're still learning and growing, and you have to be able to learn and grow in the same direction. And what happens a lot of times with young love is you don't. You start to grow in a different direction than each other. And then, you know, that's when it breaks up or whatever. So, I mean, I come from a very young relationship as well. And I don't have any problem with like age differences or anything like that. But when you're still a child, like if you're still 16 years old and this 40-year-old is wanting to take you away, yeah, then I have a problem with that. Like, that's not okay.
If they're a bad kid.
You can tell that she was stunted. Like her maturity and her way of thinking was stunted because you know, he took care of everything. He controlled everything. She didn't really have to have a thought for herself.
And unfortunately, it ended up turning out the way it has. Was it weakness? Was I weak to tell them no and be firm? To not play with other kids? I think maybe.
See, that's so scary too, Purple Glitter, because I know there's like, there's parents that are in the mindset. This was my sister. We're very, very different when it came to parenting. Her kids are all grown though now. My daughter's the youngest one in the family, but she was the type of parent that felt she was protecting them from keeping things from them. If it was a topic that was, too mature for her kids and they asked about it, she would, kind of put them off and not answer truthfully about it. She didn't want them knowing all the things that they were asking questions about. I was the complete opposite. Like I felt like if my kids were old enough to ask a question, they were old enough to hear the answer. So like I didn't make up these, little stories to pacify them that I had to fix later. No, if they really asked the question, then I told them the truth. But I feel like you create so many problems for your children when you're not honest, when you don't answer their questions. If they don't get the answers from you, they're going to get them from other people. And your kids aren't getting the answers that they need to grow up to be, kind, caring, responsible citizens.
I think I felt some guilt too, because they didn't have other friends outside our family. I want to know from you, what did I do wrong?
Thank you, Sharpay. I so appreciate it.
What I have to do now is I have to step in and I have to end. I have to end it now. I've got to stop. I have to end the relationship because it's starting to get out of control.
If you're saying it's getting out of control, imagine what life is like for this child that said it. If you feel like your family is out of control, your kids are out of control, the situation is out of control because they heard or because they were on the receiving end of somebody telling them this, then for 1 second, stop and ask yourself what this kid is feeling, what this kid's life is like. I mean, it really is true. It takes a village. And if there are parents out there that drop the ball, I feel like as a responsible parent, you pick up the ball and run with it.
So I told them already that I don't want them playing with this other kid. They will still see other kids because we have something here called a community house, and they have activities for the kids that live on this street. So they can still play with other kids.
I notice, Amy, she does put it. Now, this video, I have not heard the kids at all. But normally when she's doing a video by herself, and I usually only like to cover when she's by herself, because she does do videos where, the kids are in the video and everything. But I have noticed when she has done videos on her own, like I said, the 20-year-old, the 18-year-old, I don't think any of them work. So there are adults there that help take care of the kids. I feel like that's how that family is kind of run. The older ones help with the younger ones, which I think is kind of normal in a big family. But my problem with that is that these older kids were raised in the same exact way. So these older kids don't have the answers that these little ones are going to need when they come to them.
But I have to now step in and stop this.
Yes, it's kind of sad. Amy, because at the end of this, she says, like, she pleads with her audience. She says, "You are my friend." Like, she gets really, really serious and is speaking to the camera as if, one of us is going to answer her back.
You are my good friend. I'm so grateful to have you. Did I do the wrong thing?
So when she first came on, Amy, she did grift, a bit. I didn't, how I am when people are e-begging and I tend to latch on to covering a lot of the e-beggars. There is another one that is from TikTok that I'm going to start covering, and you probably have seen her on other channels being reacted to, but Lisa Richard is her name, and she's a major beggar. So you know how I feel about that. But when she first came on, she did kind of, ask for donations. Not crazy like, Denise or anything, but she did. And I kind of felt, because I don't have a problem with people asking for money on the internet if they're really in need. What I have a problem with is people expecting that to be done for their every whim. Oh, I have a craving for Arby's. Send me a Cash App. My kids, if I get a Cash App, I'm going to go get my kids a sub, playing on people's sympathy like that. The the expecting donations for everything in your life, the necessities, the wants, the needs, etc. That's what I have a problem with. If you're going through a tough time and you need help, I don't have a problem with that. Everybody needs a hand up sometimes, so I didn't have a problem with that. And she'd stopped asking for any donations completely from what I've seen. And I'm sure that's because, she's got so many little ones under the age of 18 and their father passed. So right now she's able, to live and survive. And she is kind of, smart about buying things, at certain places that's on sale and, getting the biggest bang for her buck or whatever. She is good at doing that. But I don't see her beg anymore. And I'm like I said, I'm sure it's because she's getting Social Security for the kids, which is allowing them, to survive, all of them.
I wanted.
Thing is as these kids grow up, I believe the way Social Security works is you get a certain amount. It's like a family, benefit for all the kids or whatever. So as one grows out of the system, that doesn't mean that their amount that they get is going to go down, because it's a family, based thing. So what would happen is, instead of that child's check just dropping off, they take that child's check and they divide it between the other children that are still eligible for it. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So when her kids grow up, I'm not sure how she's going to live, because the father was on, I believe, Social Security disability. So he didn't, I don't know. She's young. She was a young mom. So I feel like her kids are going to grow out of the system, before she hits age of being able to collect his Social Security.
I wanted them to have friends, but this has ended up being a mess. Unfortunately, you don't know at the start if somebody is going to be, if you're going to have a positive influence or a negative influence. You don't know that at the start. Everybody's on their good behavior, when you meet someone.
Thank you for the super chat, Carl.
Let me know from here going forward what you think. It would be good to have an outside opinion and maybe some outside insight. Outside insight?
No, she doesn't, Waldo. That's what I'm saying. When she met her husband, she was young. He took her away from her family. Her family disowned her. And no, she's pretty much had nobody in her life except for those 8 kids and her husband.
So that's my, I don't know, that's my, anyway. Thank you for sticking with me all the way through. And guess I better get some sleep. Bye.
Hello, friends. It's Rosalie, mom of 8 kids. I got a request to do
that was her video before that, and let me get it off of the screen because she had the little ones. I like give all the respect and admiration to you guys that had to deal with your children losing their father early, because I can't even imagine, like, my husband and I are equally involved in all of our kids' lives. And even like now, my daughter's 15. She's very, she's very self-sufficient. She can take care of most things all herself and everything, but you still need your daddy. I lost my dad 8 years ago, and I'm 52, and it's hard. So I cannot imagine having to get your kids through that. Yes, that's exactly, Sharpay, and that's what bothers me. Like, I have a tendency to cover people that are e-beggars, and that's why. And it also upsets me when they're begging uncontrollably, because we're all struggling right now. Our economy is crap, and we're all struggling. And by you constantly asking for things, especially when it's not things you need, it's because you have a craving or something, then yeah, I have a problem with that, because that money somebody is sending you could have actually bought a meal for a family that has no food, you know? That's where I get like really worked up. When you're coming to the end of this, Danny, can I get a link? I have some questions, please. Yep. Here, I'll put it in now. Carl. Oh, Carl. See, I can't. It's so sad. My daughter has one of like her best friend in school. Um, her mother has terminal cancer, and right now she's doing like chemo and radiation to give her more time. Once like they're done with that round or whatever, then she pretty much has to make a decision whether she wants to go through chemo and radiation again, or she's just ready to go. And the thought of a child, my daughter's age, having to watch that, having to know that they're, she's going to pass, it's inevitable. I can't. This girl has to like get a job to help her father, pay the bills so that they can keep the house. She's only, a sophomore in high school, this girl. But it's heartbreaking. Let me see. In my mind, I think at some point when passed out, she was imagining her freedom, but then the crap hit the fan. Yeah, if and Flowers went, like I said in the beginning when it first happened, you could tell she was terrified that like she was going to be, arrested for red rum, or that she was going to be arrested for neglect, whether it be of the children or of him. And I had said last night, she also was worried about the what her house was like. She was worried about the fact that her house was a mess. I don't know how much of a mess. Like anytime I've seen her videos, she's there. It's pretty empty around her. There's usually not anything around her when she streams that I've seen. But she acted truly terrified that she was going to get in trouble for the condition of her house and for neglect. Oh my gosh, Jarella, both of them. Ugh. I say that in my household too. I say you can talk to them anytime you want. They're always watching. Fresh flower. Fresh flower, it wasn't great. It was a long time ago, and I'm okay. It made me self-reliant, though. I'll tell you that. Oh, I bet, Jarella. I'm sorry though that you had to go through that. Journeys we have to take is crazy, man, but there's lessons in it. Yep. It's amazing all the different experiences that we have all been through, and I really do appreciate those of you that share those things in chat. I've been really blessed with the people that we get on my channel. Everybody is always very understanding, very sympathetic, empathetic. Peggy, are you coming up? Anybody else that wants to come up can come up too. The link is there. Here, I can also share it again. Otherwise, I'll move on to Denise. Now, Denise, I have to speed up because she's slow in her talking. There's Peggy.
I'm here. Just a minute.
How you doing? Can you hear me? We can't hear you, Peg.
I had to mute for a minute. I was talking to my granddaughter. Sorry. What did you ask me before I muted?
I don't remember. So what are your thoughts on Rosalie?
Yeah, she doesn't have much life experiences.
Yeah, I feel like
You know?
her maturity has really been stunted.
And it's I'm one of 6. I'm close to her 8. So I kind of get a little bit of the understanding about probably what goes on in her house. But, my dad worked, he was out of the house a lot. And so mom was mainly the, mom, teacher, doctor, many hats that we all wear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this lady's missing a few hats. Which it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not like sitting here making fun of her.
I think that, like I said, I think he was so controlling. He took care of everything to the point that she did not mature the way she should have. You know what I mean? Because she didn't have the responsibility. He did.
Well, and here's I said I had a lot of questions because I didn't follow her. And I usually find these people after you introduce them to us. So,
I feel you, Flowers.
It's okay. None of us do, Flowers.
I was going to say, Carl and I feel ya.
No, don't worry.
We're the
We
worst
all fit into
typers
that
in the
thing.
group.
When after her husband passed, and you said people came into the house for the first time, and apparently, I guess with 10 people in it, it may have gotten out of control at times. Was there any like involvement from anybody?
I
Like,
don't think so.
okay, so they
Uh,
just came, removed him, and
yeah, I mean, she did say that she was questioned. And she said she was questioned a couple times. So something was
yeah,
off.
I was gonna say because my husband passed at home as well, and God, if I go back in my head, I remember there was a sheriff who asked if he could see his medications, and I had a we had him up in the cupboard, and I said, okay, just a minute, and I got everything, and I put it like in a basket, and I turned around to hand it to me. He says, holy tit. And I'm like, well, you said everything, right? And he's like, yeah. And he went in the living room and sat down,
I
at the
think so
coffee
too, Jarla.
table, and he started going through all the medications. And I said, well, the wound care was at the end of the couch. We had a big tote with all his wound care, bandages, ointments, etc., etc. Um, and I do know that uh, there was one. It was a young sheriff. He was kind of standing off to the side and kind of, I call it twitchy. And I said, well, if you need to go outside or something, because I thought, well, maybe he's never been around a body before or anything. And he's like, oh, no, I have to stay here, ma'am. And I'm like, okay. And then, so,
Oh,
but
Jarella, how horrible.
yeah, I was going to say, other than the fact that, that they took that information, they had no questions for me. I mean, obviously, um, they thought it was the one of the EMTs had slipped out while they were working on him, and then she came back in and said if they were to stop, that the doctor called it, and of course they didn't listen to her. It took her and the fire chief. Well, I guess it was a fire chief that had come to my house first. To tap them and say, "Hey, stop!" And they one by one they quit doing what they were doing, and they said that the doctor thought that it was more than likely a blood clot that had broken loose. And so, I mean, again, I didn't have any questions and stuff. So for them to question, gee, why was
And
this?
not just once. That was the
Right.
thing. It was like 2 or 3 times they questioned her. Because I remember it was after she came, and this was weird too. It was after she came on. So I don't think she did content during that 3 months after he passed before she uploaded the video and all that. I don't think that there was anything, because the video before that is with him. It was like him and her in the van shopping or something. Um, but I forget where I was going with that. Mm.
Come back, thought.
Oh, so they questioned her after that 3 months, because she came on after, once she was back to YouTube and everything, which it took her 3 months to come back after he passed. And she came on one day talking about how she had to go back to the police station, that they wanted to, talk to her again or whatever. And so she had to go be questioned again 3 months later.
Hmm. Yeah, that I don't know. That's hmm. That's
Oh,
odd.
Carl,
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. I was sitting here going, "Oh my
I'm
gosh."
so sorry. These parents are fine with the kids living there.
No. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, Sharpay mommy, my husband is disabled. He's been disabled for 20 some years, and I stayed home with our kids. So when my kids have, raising kids, my biggest fear was, how are we going to instill work ethic into these kids? Because I stay home and he's disabled, so he's home. So I was so worried about that their whole lives. I mean, thank God both, they're both doing well and successful, but um because that has to be taught, that being a worker, you know,
Yeah.
um making your own money for what you need to survive in life, that's a skill that kids need to be taught. It's just, and it's odd to me because, like I said, as soon as I hit 16, I wanted my own job. I wanted my own money to be able to buy my own clothes and whatever. And it's weird to me that these kids are 20, 18 and not working.
Well, I think, how do I want to answer this? See, my son has Asperger's. So right now he's 22 and we're trying to find him his first job. And we're hitting, oh God, we're just hitting things left and right. So I try not to, I encourage, but I don't want to push.
Yeah, but I think every situation has to be, you know, um, examined or whatever on its own. Like your situation is totally different than what this woman's situation is. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well,
Like
yeah,
I can't see these older kids going out and working. I mean, it's almost scary to me for them to go out working because they have no concept of what the real world is like.
but see, the sad part for them, well, let me
They
back
should.
up.
I totally agree.
Yeah, life
Deeply.
class, yeah. It used to be called home economics, and we girls would take it, and we learned a lot. I don't know why they stopped it, but yeah, I just showed my age, didn't I? Yeah, we had home economics and shop too, which I took. Um, but
I
what
love you, Carl.
I remember when my son was getting a little older, and my husband would say, "Well, when 18, when he moves out, we're going to do this." I said, "Excuse me." I said, "What if he's not ready to move out at 18?" He just looked at me, and I'm like, "Some kids are, some kids aren't. I'm not going to just shove him out the door because his birthday came and went."
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that's me though. I grew up in a home where my mom didn't want to push us out, but then again, being the oldest, you get those many hats, dishwasher, sous chef, you did all these things for her. She didn't want to lose that just because, now you're old enough to leave. She still has 5 more kids to take care of. So I kind of learned that quickly. But in their case, you said they were 18 and 20 or 20 and 18?
Yeah, I think the oldest is like 20 or 21. And then there's an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, believe 14, 11. I don't know. There's 8 starting
There's
at
8.
20. I think the youngest is like 4.
Okay. Well, the 20-year-old and the 18, I would think that since their fathers passed, they may be getting a little taste of the outside. But if they haven't made any friends yet, there may be that hesitation to go.
Well, and see also
You know.
like they don't have, like I said, they have no outside, socialization. They don't, they don't have anybody else around them other than the other kids and her. And so when they get out and they get a job, I mean, they're not even going to know how to interact with people. Like I will say, I homeschooled my boys till graduation. So, and I like the arguments about homeschooling and not having the socialization they need. All of that is very, very real concerns. I was blessed because my boys made friends very young in life that they kept their whole life. So they had people over all the time. It wasn't a thing.
Right.
Now, I do believe every kid is different because my youngest, I homeschooled her 2 years. She's just the type, she needs to be in school.
Hmm.
She needs the constant stimulation and, other people around her and all that. But if you're going to keep them home and you're going to homeschool them, that puts a lot on you to be able to get them out there doing things, get them involved in things
Hmm.
so that they learn how to interact with people. These kids are going to have no clue.
Well, from what I'm gathering, I'm assuming your boys had friends in the neighborhood then.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the country, so there is no neighborhood. Like,
Well,
it's not like kids go outside and play with kids next door or whatever. But they made friends because they did go to school, public school, for the first 3 years, till they were in third and fourth grade. So they made friends that they kept they're still friends with them to this day.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like she kept her kids in and they weren't allowed out.
Right, because this is but see, I wonder how much of that was the controlling of the dad, because she acted like in the beginning of that video, she acted like she was excited for them to make friends in the neighborhood and play with other kids. Well, your kids are 20 and under. Like, you never had your kids play with kids in the neighborhood?
Well, that's obvious that, we get that she didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
and here's another. Oh, shoot. My thought just ran like yours did earlier. Give me a minute. I may come back.
Yeah, I think so, PG. And now she, like I said, she was so young when they got together and everything. It kind of stunted her maturity. And now she has to grow up real dang fast because she's responsible for 8 children. Well, she's really only responsible for 6 because the other 2 are adults. But
Oh yeah, I'm getting that from the get go that he controlled.
mm-hmm.
The vibe I kind of get. This is gonna sound weird, so everybody forgive me. I'm getting like a Duggar vibe.
Yes, somebody said that earlier. I
Oh,
think
okay,
maybe it
that's
was
not.
Sharpay. Somebody did say that earlier, that they watched something on the Duggars, and a lot of this sounds very similar.
I mean, you got the wife in the house. Well, in her case, 20 kids or 19 and counting or whatever she ended up with when they finally couldn't have anymore. um, but they were all at home. All her kids were at home, and it seemed like the only way the children left was after they got married.
Yeah.
Once they met their spouse and did the whole
But see, this is
courting
even almost worse to me
thing.
because how are they gonna meet their spouse? Like,
Oh,
they
and
literally have no, contact with anybody.
they did through the church or when they would have I guess what's
Me too,
the
Carl.
church meetings. The families would go to other families' houses and they'd have their little, or they'd come to their house
Right.
with a little.
But this family doesn't have that.
Well, I was going to say that's the only thing they seem to be lacking is having anybody else coming in
Yeah. And
to
that's
the
almost
circle.
scary. Like, uh, I mean, thankfully, that it sounds like that house is a calm house. I don't think there's yelling, or you know what I mean? I think it's
Hmm.
a chill home, but that's all they know. What are they going to do when, like this, they are out in the real world and they run across somebody that has issues or has anger problems, or, whatever. I mean, she's teaching them, like, the thing that you do is turn your back.
Yeah. Well, when you were talking, because sorry, I came in late. I had a late start around here, still trying to get things started. And it's already 1 o'clock. It's gonna be a long day. Um. Anyway, you were at the beginning. Where I came in, you were saying that there was a child that would come to the door and say, "I want so and so to come out and play." Now, see, my mom's the type of mom, God rest her soul, that she would have said, "Hey, well, why don't you come on in and have a piece of toast?" Or, do you like orange juice? Or she would have distracted the kid to let the child eat their breakfast.
Yeah.
Instead of, saying, now you're just going to have to wait till he comes out and, push the kid who apparently is getting pushed at home, which is causing him to find someone, that's what most bullies
Well,
are.
and she complained at one point, she complained about the kid coming and knocking on the door. See, I don't know, maybe I was an odd parent because I would love that. I loved having the kids here. Like, my husband would get worn out, but I loved it. I never got sick of having extra kids in the house. And my thing was always, you can make as much noise as you want as long as it's good noises. I start hearing yelling or,
Hmm.
anger or whatever, then we're going to have an issue. But if it's laughing, hooping and hollering and having fun, I don't care how loud they are.
Are you waiting for it? Oh, oh, wow.
I was waiting a documentary on how Japan
I didn't
has
know
a high rate of young people not dating and not producing offspring, as dating and marriage is difficult. And then this time, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know that the last thing I had heard is that so many of the Japanese were, hello, I'm a baby boomer. Nice to meet everyone. That their baby boomers are reaching that age of retirement and they don't have anybody to step in and take their place in the workforce because Japan limited them to what was it, 2 kids?
Yeah.
And then to make it worse, everybody wanted males. So if I don't know what they did with the females. They were either abandoned or whatever happened to them, which is sad and makes me mad. But you know, now they're facing this. We have nobody to move into the workforce. Where if we're not careful, we're going to find ourselves being the same way.
Yeah. Same, Patty. And my youngest, she sings. I swear from the time she could, speak, she started singing. And so usually you can hear her singing, you know what room she's in because you can hear her singing and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I just, as long as it's good, fun, happy
Oh,
sounds, I don't care.
sorry, Aaron. I knew it was
Hi,
one of them.
Tina.
Sorry, I knew it was one I said. I might be wrong, but I do know. Well, Japan's got to be facing the same thing then. If their people aren't reproducing children, then yeah.
Tina, I used to be on Periscope. This is YouTube. It's my YouTube channel, but I am streaming to X and Twitch as well.
And yeah, Sharpie, I'm 60, and when my grandkids come over, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't play the video games with them because it makes me sick. I don't know, it's the motion or something. But I do all kinds of other things with them, and you know, I can't go out and run anymore. But I did until I couldn't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with homeschooling as long as you're doing it right. I mean, my
Yeah,
daughter
you
did it
have to be
the wrong way, but
responsible. Yeah.
they went back to school. Like I said, I just had my granddaughter graduate, and she worked her butt to get the extra credit to do it, and she did it. So I think that comes back to what you said about teaching how do you teach these ethics if you're not, I think it's when you get up every morning and you and I were caretakers to our spouses, and you're doing that and they see you doing that and you're getting them off to school every morning, and then they come home and you interact with them, and do you have homework, do you need any help with it? Well, my son ended up with a tutor because he didn't like the way we did it, and he wanted it like the teacher did it, so we found him a teacher that was a tutor, and she worked wonders with him. But I think they see by example, just because you're not getting up and getting in the car and going and working 9 to 5 and coming home, you still have a routine, and you still have, making dinner and doing things, and they see you doing that and they learn by example,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you talk about it, you say, gee, maybe whatever you've done in the past, gee, I worked in a nursing home for X number of years, and man, that's not an easy job, but I loved it. And so you share those things.
Yeah, I did. I would talk about like my jobs when I was younger and things like that.
And I think, unfortunately, don't anybody get mad at me. Oh, I found somebody who's older than me. Hi, Patty. Want to be friends?
I
I'm the
went to
oldest
my
one
granddaughter
always.
2 times a week. We have fun, but a long day for me. When I get on the floor to play, sometimes they have to help me get up. I feel
Oh,
you, Patty.
Patty, if I got on the floor today, they'd have to bring a crane and a crew in. I'm telling you, I'm sorry, and I'm honest. They would take a crane and a crew. I can't get on the floor anymore, but man, I can sit on the couch. And I have a little girl that comes. She's turning 4 in June, and she's been coming here. My granddaughters have watched her every summer since she was 6 months old. And it's passed from my oldest granddaughter to now my youngest granddaughter. They've all watched her. I will sit on that couch and I will play patty cake with her. I will draw with her. I can't get on the floor and I can't go out in the yard and chase her. That's my granddaughter's job. But I'll go out and laugh and cheer them on. And I sit here and cheer them on, So it keeps us going.
Yeah. See, I tell Peggy all the time, Patty, my grandbabies live on the other side of the country practically, and it's really, really hard because that's the grandma I imagined being was the grandma that watched the kids while while they were working, and I just always imagined being a very, very involved grandma. Um, and so it's really, really hard to try to, create that kind of same, relationship with them when they're so far away. All right, Peggy, do you want to stay up for Denise? You got
Yeah,
stuff
I
to
will.
say
Hang
about
on just a
Denise.
second.
All right, I'm gonna start her for you guys. Um, Thank you, Fresh Flowers. Thank you, everybody that remain. You guys, I was gone, what, 2.5 months? I think I only lost like 9 subscribers. That's amazing for not putting anything out for 2.5 months and only losing that many. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching on replay, if you're here in the chat now, if you're lurking, whatever, thank you so much for staying supportive and waiting this out with me. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to start her and then I'm going to run to the little girl's room.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Danny?
What?
Oh, you muted.
I was muted because I ran to the restroom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did want to say, so I only know of 3 of us who cover her. I cannot remember the third person's channel, but myself, Winged Matchbox, and there's another one that covers her. It is not me that she's speaking of, and it's not Winged Matchbox. I think you guys know that if somebody was being doxed in my comments, their comments would be deleted.
Carlotta, you're naughty.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Sharpay. I just now realized you guys couldn't see. What an idiot. Do you want me to start it over so you can see her, or do you want me to just keep going? Did you even hear her?
No. Go ahead, player.
Well, then I'll start her over. Anyways, I'm not the creator she's speaking of at this point, and neither is Winged Matchbox. It's the other one, and I can never remember her name.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing today? I know that I have been missing in action for a while. They came and they fixed the roof, and now they messed up that light, that fog light or whatever it's called. So I'm gonna not make this video too long. I'm gonna make my point and move on. But if you're wondering about the light, that is I think it's a fog light, I'm not too sure, or one of them big spotlights. But the roofers, they were here for like 2 days, and I think they messed it up. I don't know if the office knows about it, but yeah. So I've been okay, but I've not been okay. I let's see how I talk about this. It's been a little crazy since I have not been on here.
Yes,
There is
flowers.
a particular content creator that is talking about me and showing my videos on that content creator's channel. And I was reading the messages because it comes across my feed. I don't know how, but it just comes across my feed. So of course, like anybody else, I'm curious, I'm nosy, so I started reading the comments. There is a particular person on her comments that is sharing my location. She says that she knows my room number. She is sharing my
Thank you,
location, my
Kristen.
room number. I've never said my room number. She is giving out my personal information to these other people who are commenting on this particular person's channel. She is allowing those comments to stay on her channel. I don't know why she's not removing them. She's not a big content creator like I am. So this particular person is sharing, saying that she's going to call the cops. She knows where I live. She's going to call CPS. And a few people are agreeing with her. She's saying stuff that's not true. She's making up stories. She's giving out my Texas tag numbers, which I don't have. I have my Texas tags, but it's in my trunk. I have Tennessee tags. She is telling people to go to a particular video, which I have put private. Telling people to go to that video because you can see what my tag numbers are. So there are a couple of people, but the main one is her, the main person who is commenting. She used to rock with me. She became a subscriber in Bristol, Tennessee when I was in the shelter through the Next Door Neighbor app. I have never given out her information. She has told me where she lives and, the apartment complex name, and I'm not about that life. What people tell me, I keep it to myself. What people email me, I keep it to myself. I don't do that. And so the reason why I haven't been on here is because I've been trying to think about what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. I've been very upset. I've been going through my depression. I've been going through my anxiety. I've been going through being a little paranoid, looking out the window, because the safety of
Danny, you're muted.
Gosh, Peggy.
I was muted at a phone call, and I realized you weren't talking on it. Uh-oh, she's
I've
muted.
been sitting here going on and on. Okay. Number 2.
Sorry.
That was the second mute. Hey, it's not that bad considering I've been gone 2.5 months, guys.
That's right. Get back in the flow.
And now I think I lost what I was saying. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay, Denise, you're learning. You know, she's finally grasping what's going on. There's an echo.
Do I need to go back in? Or did I fix it?
I didn't hear the echo. So if you heard Arrow, is she still echoing? But I was saying, so she was saying, when I get in my new apartment, I'm going to have to be more private. I'm not going to be able to film, me driving home places. I'm not going to be able, like, she's going to only film in one room and have the same background behind
I'll
the
leave
stream.
that.
Okay. And I was like, yes, you're finally learning what you're dealing with. Because on YouTube, I mean, people are going to come at you. It's just how it is. And when you tell every aspect of your life, I don't know why people feel the need to dox people or to research people to find out. I don't know. I don't get that whole part of it. But I thought finally she's learning. And then she tells us the name of the apartment complex that she's moving to. So I'm like, oh, Denise, like I was really worried for her that people were going to call there. She's not in yet. So I thought, oh my gosh, everybody's going to be calling there, trying to get them to not let her have this apartment, which again, I don't understand why people do that stuff. I'm happy to see them get into a place. But Denise, you need to shush sometimes. Don't tell so much.
Safety of my kids are the most important thing to me. I have not been able to get any type of sleep. I've been tossing and turning, wondering who's going to knock at the door. So if these content creators see these comments on their channel,
absolutely, Sharp.
They can do whatever they want, but you're
put the link in.
Basically condoning the situation. By you condoning, you are accepting you're accepting that these people are sharing my information. That is against YouTube policies, threats, sharing personal information, people's whereabouts. So again, she can do whatever she wants. If it continues, I'm gonna have to go to the authorities and see what I can do about that, because the main person is sharing all this information, saying that Bianca gave her this information. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, Bianca doesn't like to be on camera. Second of all, she don't like people to know where we're at. Third of all, why would Bianca talk to you? Like, you're creating a problem, not a problem, but you're trying to create a problem between me and my daughter, which you haven't. Because I know my daughter would never do that. So, you don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm still going through. I don't know. People have requested a apartment tour. I should be moving out of here in the next week. I had to go yesterday and finish my paperwork. So I should be out of here in the next week, is what she told me. I don't know if I want to, even if I don't film outside.
What do I call you, Sharpay?
You can call me Sharpay or Danielle.
Okay, I'm Danielle too, so.
Oh. I kind of wondered.
Peggy, are you echoing?
I don't say I'm echoing.
I don't hear the echo. So, chat, is anybody echoing? That fog light is not working properly.
The internet?
I don't know. We'll just assume we're not echoing until we're told. There is. Now I don't know what I asked. Chow. Did I ask if there was an echo or if the echo was oh, you're both echoing. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
YouTube
I'm gonna
is
back out and try it again.
Is it echoing now?
We're both echoing. See, I don't hear.
Does anybody have their YouTube still going?
I just shut mine down.
Oh, okay.
Now it should be okay. There we go. I just don't see her. I see your screen.
Okay. Yeah, because hold on, let me see. Sometimes
I'm echoing,
I'll
I'll
put
step
me back.
out.
There.
Okay.
I see you.
Are we still okay with sound, you guys?
All right.
Okay, it was the guests echoing. Thank you, Pam. She just shut get out of the bathroom. She just shut off her stream in the background, so that's probably what it was. I couldn't
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
had both open.
So it's good to see you. I think you might do you mod for somebody else because I think I might have seen you in another stream too.
Well, I mod for Denise. And then I have my own channel. And then I'm also on TikTok.
It must be hers. Were you on her panel at some time?
Yes, I was on there helping with Apple.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember you. Blonde?
Yes.
Yes. What's good
I
to
set
meet
up the account for folks to donate to help with Apple.
And I think you were answering me too in comments. I had asked questions or whatever, and I think you might have answered me back. Hi, Ryan. You hear echoes?
I'm still hearing you too. I don't know why.
Do you have earbuds?
Oh, hold on. I have got my headphones on with my mic on. Let me just do this. Let me turn my headphones off and I'll just turn my speaker on.
Hey, darling. Ryan, how are you?
Can you guys hear me now? Nope, it's still
I can.
Why is it echoing?
Oh, now it's echoing for you too.
Let me
Can
go
Echo
out.
Lady
I'm
say, do you
gonna-
believe in life after love?
Is it there?
All right, hold on. Let me move my one screen. Sometimes it does this when I have somebody on panel and I have my second monitor going. I don't know why. All right, does that make a difference, you guys?
I don't know. Let's see. Nope, still doing it.
Oh.
It kept asking me to do something. So let me leave back in.
Okay. I'm good, Ryan. Glad to be back. The lady on screen said that blinking light is a fog light earlier because houses has fog lights. All right. Can I just say the way you said it? Because houses has fog lights. That kind of cracked me up. All right. With her down, there's no echo though, right? I'm going to play her while you guys answer.
Outside. I don't know if I want to film inside the apartments because, you know, the Tri-Cities, Houston, Tennessee is very small. And I don't want people
Corner,
to
Ryan.
Tell other
Corner
people
of
where I
the
live
corner.
or try to find out my apartment number and trying to cause me more ill will or cause me more problems. You know, I'm not about that life. I don't live that life.
And I will say that it is stupid. People call jobs, call apartments. Like, how is that going? I don't understand what their end goal is there. You know, if you're angry that she's begging and she's working at a job and you get her fired, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of you being mad because she's begging. You're the one that made her lose her job. Like things like that. I don't understand I don't understand the end goal when people do this stuff.
life,
Unless the end goal is to make her leave, which she may be doing now.
where I feel like I'm being threatened. I feel like, if that person shows up here or at the apartment, it's going to cause a lot of problems. In the past, people have blurted out on my lives or on my chats where I live. Just because I live here doesn't give you the right to put it on my chat or put it on my live chat. That doesn't give you the right to be putting my information out there. If I want to put that information out there, then I'll do that. It's my channel. I'll put that information out there. But I've never told nobody where I live. I've never told nobody my room number. There's many hotels here. There's a few other extended stay hotels here that I have found out. This is not the only one.
Can you hear me now? Oh, we're still doing it.
But
All
apparently
right.
people think that they have the right.
It's still echoing. See, I don't hear the echo.
Now is it doing it? Yeah, it's still echoing. You're not hearing it? Is the chat hearing it? I bet they are.
I don't know. You'd think that they would want the kids to be in a permanent home instead of a hotel. Right, Arrow. It doesn't make sense. And really, that's who it's hurting. If they try to get her, not to get this apartment or whatever, that is. It's still echoing. Yes, we can hear your echoes. I think I will say, Fresh Flowers, I think she's really going through it. I think, she does say like she has trouble getting out of bed. She's so depressed. So I mean, I do think that there's a lot going on there. And anybody calling the apartment, well, she's not working now. And Sharpay Mommy, see, maybe you can spread light on that. That I think too, it irritates everybody that, she's always asking for money, but she quit Arby's. She quit her job and now she's talking about quitting YouTube, which is her other job.
She either quits or gets fired at like every job she's had here.
Yeah.
When she says she can't find work, that's why. It's not because there's not work here. She's quit everything or got fired because of her mouth.
Yeah, I mean, and she was like singing praises about Arby's, is best place to work, and she loved it there and everything. And then she left. You find her stiff with no emotion. She does show emotion. Like there's times where, she's been on here crying and stuff. I do think that at this point she's really going through it. I think she's in a really bad, deep depression, which is concerning with the kids. Not telling anybody to go do something stupid like call CPS or anything. Please, you guys, don't ever use any of the people that I cover. Don't harass them, stalk them, put nasty comments in their comment section. Don't do any of that. All right, let me hit play and get her going again. Yeah, why do you know, Sharpay, why she quit Arby's?
Or I call her out a little. So I started and I wasn't and then I started again. Why? I'm holding my
Flowers.
If she has a job and she stops like talking about it, that's how you know she got fired. If she starts complaining about it, she's getting into trouble. It's very rare to just quit.
It's very rare what?
Unless it was like chitty, where she just might bend.
Is she breaking up for anybody else? I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Yeah, she was in the hotel. It was you guys, the finger, it has been a thing for a long time. Like, it was hanging on there for a long time.
I'm on the speakerphone now.
They're saying maybe turn the speaker off while you're talking.
You can't do that when you're on the speakerphone.
Yeah, see, I'm not understand. I can't really understand when you're talking. I thought it was her job. Well, yeah, she's Fresh Flowers. That's what I'm saying. Like she quit Arby's, and she said she's not looking for work until she's in the apartment because she doesn't want to have to be working and trying to move. But now she seems to be quitting YouTube. And I mean, she doesn't have to quit YouTube. She could do YouTube and just do it correctly. Don't snort. Like that's a big one. People cannot stand and they're like, "Where are your manners?" Like it's gross. Um so quit the I can't even do it. So I don't I don't know how she does it, but this sounds like an episode from Stingray with the echoing. I'm sorry, Flowers. Sharpay, maybe we can get it figured out for my next stream for you to come up. We can figure out what's causing the echo or whatever.
I'm trying one more thing. Nope, still don't work.
Well, I'm sorry that it's not working out.
Yeah, that's right.
My email is in my description if you want to email me and we can try to figure it out behind the scenes for my next one.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, here we go.
They have the right to call it out and say, well, you live here, and oh, the room, I recognize the room, and you live here, and they just blurt it out, and
And you guys, she may, again, I don't think she realizes what she got herself into. This is what people do. When people from YouTube, especially if they're people that are hated on, you show where, all you have to do is show one part of your hotel room and they are searching the internet. They're finding the same carpeting, the same curtains until they figure out where you are. I wouldn't have thought I never would have thought that people would do that. I myself wouldn't think to do that, but it's what they do.
By the time I go to my YouTube studios and that little red dot shows up on my phone, it could show up, God knows, 15, 20, 30 minutes later. And I won't catch it right away. YouTube takes time for them to send me those messages. So I have to delete those messages. I don't think that I've ever been on here rude or disrespectful to anyone. I love each and every one of you for helping us out with whatever, likes, comments, super chats, super stickers, donations, whatever the case may be. So
Chow, I'm feeling like you got a bit of an obsession going on.
So I'm thinking to myself, if I start filming only in my apartment, is somebody going to recognize the apartment? Is somebody going to say, oh, well, you live here. I recognize the apartment and you live here. And then by the time I get those messages, maybe 10 or 15, 20 people will know my whereabouts. And my concern is my girls. My concern is the threats that I've been getting, not on my channel, but on other people's channel.
But see, and again, she doesn't realize what she stepped into. She doesn't realize, grifting on a platform as big as YouTube. She didn't realize what was, going to come down the pike for her. But it is all, and this is how reactors and anybody else, this is how they're going to look at it. All of this stuff is stuff that she put out publicly, and that's why they were able to find her. That's how they justify it. I don't feel like that justifies it, but that's how people that do this stuff, that's how it's justified. It's on the internet. You put it on the internet, and now it's all of our business.
And giving out my I never gave you permission to give out my whereabouts, my personal information, my tag numbers to my car. That is illegal. It is illegal, for the law, and it's illegal policies for YouTube.
And she tells stuff so much that she should, like she said how she didn't have her license. Well, then everybody caught on to the fact that here you've been moving around for the past year, driving these girls hours and hours from Philadelphia to Tennessee to whatever, and you didn't even have a license during any of that. And if you didn't have a license, then I'm assuming you didn't have car insurance, because I can't imagine you'd be able to get car insurance without a license.
Against policies from YouTube. So I don't know how this person has not got reported, or why this person is, I gotta use the bathroom. This person has not removed those comments.
Yes, Sharpay.
I'm sure that person would.
Because I feel like somebody behind the scenes told her to do that, and it was the worst thing she could have done. And I don't know what analytics she's looking at, but the analytics that I looked at when, she first tried doing that, when she stopped doing that was another thing. When she stopped doing lives, I was like, she's going to kill her channel, because the lives are what got her to the 13K. And so if something's working, why would you change it?
Person wouldn't like other people giving out her personal information, her whereabouts, her tag numbers on her car, making up stories. Oh, but I know Denise personally. No, you don't. I am not that type of person to be making friends with just everybody. And no, no. I don't know you. I've never met you.
I don't understand. So she keeps acting like once they're in the apartments, everything's going to be better. Like, she's not going to have to beg anymore and stuff. And I don't understand that. You're still going to be getting the same amount of super chats, or food stamps, I mean. So that's not going to change just because your address changes. I mean, I don't understand what is going to change when she moves into this apartment, that then she's not going to need to beg.
Met you. I know how we met. I can use the bathroom. Let me see if I can put this on pause. I gotta go. All right, let me get close to here, because I had to use the bathroom. I had this big bowl of lettuce. Oh, a big bowl. So I don't know if I want to continue doing YouTube. I don't know right now how I want the channel to go. I don't know if I want to do an apartment tour. If I do an apartment tour, it's going to have to be through membership only.
Right. I mean, she's already got the wish list made for the apartment. And again, like, it's not needs, it's wants. She wants to do a whole room for Gypsy and make it all cutesy and everything, so that Gypsy will sleep in her own room. Well, what about Bianca? Like, I feel bad for that one, because I feel like she always kind of gets the shaft. And that kind of upsets me for her.
Let me make sure this thing is working, because sometimes I know how to do it, sometimes I don't.
No, it's low income though.
Okay. So right now everything is up in the air with me. I don't understand. If I don't like someone, I don't like someone. I'm not going to sit there and watch their channel. I'm not going to sit there and subscribe to their channel, and I'm not going to watch so that you can go on other people's channel and talk smack about me when you don't even know me. You're doing high school stuff. You're doing gossip. You're doing high school stuff and saying, hey, did you hear this and this about Denise? And like, you just really don't know me. You don't know the struggles I've been through. You don't know
this is her victim overtaking. Like, this is what we have all had, things happen in our life or whatever. And it irritates the crap out of me, her continually being a victim to her past. Girl, you got through it. You survived it. You're doing it. You are raising two girls on your own. You may not be in an actual home, but you are not homeless. That irritates the crap out of me. If you're able to say, I live in an extended stay hotel, one that you pay rent for, you're not homeless. Homeless implies you are on the street. Your kids have a roof over their head, they have beds to sleep in, they have food to eat. So when she does that, to me, it is manipulation. And she even uses the finger thing as manipulation to get donos.
The emotions that I've been going through. You don't know how expensive it is to live here. It seems like some of y'all are talking and you don't have no kids. You've never been in this situation. Your life is Gucci. Mine has not for the last almost 2 years. It is what it is. I do feel that I had to go through what I went through living here. And now, in the next week, I'll be moving to, a 3-bedroom apartment, giving my girls stability. They can have friends and this and that and the third. Then that same person.
She said they can have friends. She said in one of her last videos, she said Bianca was so excited about them getting the apartment. And Bianca was like, Mom, can I have sleepovers? Can I have people over to study for tests and blah, blah, blah. Denise outright said, nope. She's like, I've done that before. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. She's like, when you have kids at your house, you are then responsible for another child. And nope, I'm not doing it. So her kids finally get, a place in their own room and they aren't even allowed to have friends over. It's weird, Kristen. Basically her whole hand, I don't know what happened, but because of the whole finger situation, she didn't use that hand. And it's almost like that whole entire hand is now useless. Like if you watch, she can't move her other fingers around that finger. She can't move her other fingers correct either. Her hand is always kind of in an extended position.
And that one person, the little leader of the group, is putting bad juju on me, is saying, oh, I bet you she ain't going to keep her apartment. I give her 6 months and she'll be moving again, or she's going to end up back at the hotel. That's the reason why you're not on my channel. That's the reason I hide you from my channel, because you became such a negative Nancy on my channel that I don't tolerate stuff like that. You want to say whatever you want to say, then create your own channel. I know you're.
You need to decide how you want it. Do you want people making their own channel and reacting to you
Name.
and
I don't even put that out
talking
there
about it, or
because
no?
that's just crazy, and I don't do stuff like that.
Her finger was so infected, she ended up in the hospital with emergency
We might
surgery. Why
gossip,
didn't
we
they
might do
take it, Sharpay? Yeah, that the whole finger situation went on for a long time. Why was it never taken off?
coffee time. We might maybe talk about, a couple of people, but you're putting stuff out there. You're saying that you're going to come to the hotel, that you're going to invade somebody's space, somebody's privacy, that you're going to find out where this particular person lives, so you can go to this particular person's room and tell them that I have been talking about them, whatnot, whatever. That's very childish. That's very immature. If you have all the time in the world to do that, then your life is very sad. It's very sad. You must be a miserable person, and whatever the case may be. But I understand that we all of us are struggling. I've always said it. I appreciate everyone's love, support, comments.
She didn't always say that, though. Used to be, she just, in fact, somebody said
donations. It
First of
really,
all,
really
if somebody comes into your chat and says, "Can I get a shout out?" Let me tell you, it's a kid. That's like a perfect way of knowing that that's a child. Adults aren't into, just hearing their name said out loud for attention. Um, and somebody came in and said, "Can I get a shout out?" And her mod put in the chat, "You can get a shout out with a super chat." Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the different, I run my channel different or whatever, but I mean, y'all aren't dollar signs to me, when people support you and everything, and that's how you treat them. I mean, like I said, she kind of put herself in that lol cow pasture all on her own.
really has helped me out. Without it, I really don't know where I would be. Um, you guys are saying stuff that it's not true, saying that I don't know why I'm asking for donations, in your words, begging for groceries because I get $740 a month. I don't. I don't. I've always said it. I think I get around 352 or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, Sharpay.
I've always been
Or when somebody comes in and says, name an edit or name a car for an edit. That is a child. My daughter did the edits when, like 6 years ago when she was like 9 years old or something. Like that's another indication that that's a child. When they can't spell to save their life, it's mostly going to be a child. Like there's so many, and she didn't care. People are telling her your chats are filled with kids, and she didn't care, and she let them stay because she wanted that sub count up.
always been honest. Maybe sometimes I've been on here a little too honest. Maybe sometimes I've been here and I said a little bit too much. But I've always wanted to just be me, be relatable, be truthful.
You are not truthful. I'm sorry, but you're not.
I never wanted to lie to people. I never wanted to deceive people.
You never wanted to lie. You never wanted to deceive. You received donations to move to Texas. You received donations to fix your car. And now you're moving, and instead of outright asking for donations, you're asking for everything on your wish list so that like everybody in YouTube land can furnish your new apartment. Blah, 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 blah.
Deceive people. This is my story, my journey.
What happened to the money?
The last 2 years, I'm hoping that it will get better. It is going to be the summertime, so if you have kids and you know what it's like to have children during the summertime and they're home all the time, they eat you out of house and home. So the summertime for parents is the worst.
Wow, Sharpay.
Time of the year because they're home, they're wanting 3 meals a day, 3 snacks a day.
I get that. I mean, it is true, if you're struggling and you're having a hard time keeping groceries in your house and summer vacation comes. I don't know about there, but like here we have programs where in the summer, if you're having trouble keeping food in your house for your kid through the summer, we have programs where like you can pick up lunches for the week for your kids at the school or whatever. That is another thing. So many people try to give her resources, so many, and she ignores them. She doesn't want the resources. She wants the cash apps. And in fact, um that's how she got into this apartment so quickly and stuff, is because somebody helped her. A resource actually helped her, but she denies the resources. She won't go to any food banks because she insists everything that they give you at the food bank is expired, and she's not going to feed her kid expired food. Meanwhile, she just told us that when she goes to Kroger, she always buys the reduced stuff that's expired. Then go get it for free at a food bank. Like there's so many things that she could get help with, and she just refuses. Just like when Amy offered to pay for the Boys and Girls Club for the kids. She couldn't be bothered to actually get on and register. Like we had to hound her to do that.
snacks a day. They're thirsty all the time. They want their friends. They're gonna, want to invite their friends, and I've already experienced that. I don't want that again. But it's not your what is the word I'm trying to find? It's not your decision
Oh, I totally
to put my
believe that,
business out there like
Sharpay.
that, to give people my room number, to give people where I live, to tell them my tag numbers. You're putting my children in danger. You're putting my safety in danger. You're allowing these comments
But
to
you're
be
putting
on your channel.
you and your child's safety in danger, Denise. The things that you do and the things that you disclose online, that's what's doing it. And here's the thing. Like, I am in awe of the fact that she has had CPS called on her in pretty much every area that she has lived in. That's scary. She's had them called by the school. She's had them called from people online. Like, that's scary to me. If this wasn't the first time when somebody from YouTube called and CPS showed up or whatever. Um, it's not just people online that are trolling her that are calling CPS. The school called CPS. Like, that's scary. How many times do you have to, have them called on you?
Your channel. I didn't know that YouTube was crazy and wild like that. I came on YouTube because, like I said before, it was the pandemic. We were bored. We were locked up. Not locked up. We were on lockdown and all this other stuff. So, I did it for fun. I did it because I enjoy it. And, it turned from mukbangs
Welcome to
to,
Delicious Denise. Oh,
car
sorry.
mukbangs.
My gypsy life with Denise.
My channel has evolved throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? So, and unfortunately, it has turned into what it has turned into. And hopefully now it will get better. So I don't know if I want to continue doing YouTube, because a lot of people are putting my videos, reactors, or whatever you want to call them, which is fine.
Pay attention to her hand, you guys. It's the left hand, I believe. But pay attention to the hand without the whole finger. Her whole hand is almost like deformed. She let that go on for so long, and she just didn't use the hand, and now the hand is like it's like it's dead.
It is what it is. What's it called, reactors and the other ones, I don't know. Anyways, there's a couple of things that commentary people, it is what it is. I've always just said, just get the story straight, tell the truth. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but your subscribers are coming for me, coming for my kids, and it's not safe. I don't know how you're allowing those comments to continue staying on your channel. We don't get paid for that. We get paid for our watch time, our view times. We don't get paid for the comments. People are also saying that, I don't know why you asking.
Waldo, there was one where she got so angry because she was live streaming, and Gypsy said on the live stream, I'm sorry, but I low-key love it when her girls call her out for stuff. And Gypsy said on the live stream that one of the teachers at school asked her if she had bathed that day. And Denise flipped, like, she got off her live immediately and called the school screaming about it. And then then that night when she was streaming from her car, she yells up to Bianca to get Gypsy in a bath. And for like that week, it was like every night she'd be live and she'd be telling Bianca to get her a bath run.
Why are you asking for donations? Because you're making money, you should be making a certain amount of money. But no, I'm not. I'm not making the money that people are thinking that I'm making here on YouTube. It is not. My watch time hours have gotten down big time because I'm not on here on the daily. So when I next paycheck, let's see, today is in June's paycheck. If it doesn't hit my threshold, then I don't get paid until it hits my threshold.
Yeah.
If you guys know about YouTube, or if you're a content creator watching me, you know that if you don't hit that threshold.
Kristen, it's so sad. Like, she tells everything. She comes on here and tells when her oldest is having her cycle. She came on begging for money for feminine hygiene products. That girl had to be mortified. That girl doesn't want on her YouTube channel. She tries with all her might to not be shown on the channel. And you're going to come on here and talk about her cycle? Ugh.
Then they'll hold it, and then the next month, when you do hit that threshold, then they'll release it on the 21st. So it could be between $100, it could be between $300. I'm making something around there, so it's not a whole lot. People are thinking that I'm making $1,200 a month or more, or like around 500 and more.
Right, right, Amy. And when she found out about, her staying in well, where she is, I mean, it's out there, she'll tell you. So, but when decided, that she could saw that she could get an apartment and decided to stay there, she even said something to the effect of she didn't want people getting mad because people donated for the move. Yeah. And so where's that money? They donated for the move. If you were actually putting it aside so that you could move, and now you're not moving, then how come you're begging for money for food? Because she got I don't know, something. They gave out their food stamps for May, like in April, at the end of April or something. So that meant she wasn't going to get food stamps for May. Well, you should be okay then, because you have the money from the move and you're not moving.
And more, I'm not. If people don't send super chat, super stickers as a content creator, you know that you're not making any money. You have to depend on your view times and your watch time hours. And mine have gone from 10,000.
Yeah, Sharpay, she would not call and register. All she had to do was register her. She just had to call the Boys and Girls Club, register her, and then Amy was going to call and pay it. She couldn't be bothered to do that. Then when she finally did, she told us she did. She told me, she told Nick, she told Amy that she had called and registered. So Amy called to try to pay, and she wasn't registered.
And 500 to 4,500, because I have not been on here the last, I don't know, few days, 3, 4, 5 days, I don't know, a week, because I've had to think about this situation. It's been weighing heavy on my heart. And of course, I've been busy doing what the apartment people are asking me to do so that we can get in there like as soon as possible. She says sometime next week that she'll call me Monday.
That's funny you say that though, Waldo, because I did say at one point when I was, streaming about her, I did say she does have some very similar like attributes to Foodie, and even the food obsession. Like all she thinks about is food. You won't see it in this video, but like in her normal videos, it's always about food.
So we should be moving out of here soon. That is good news. I am nervous, because we have to move, and moving is always, even if you're moving from here to the hotel to an apartment, it's always nerve-wracking. New people, I don't do well with new people. I don't do well, I like to keep to myself. I don't like people coming up to me and saying, hey, hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so, and I'm your neighbor. Like, no, I keep to myself. Things will change when I get there, of course, because
I find that odd too, because you keep to yourself, yet you want all these people to give to you. You can't be bothered to have a conversation with people, but give me money.
Complex, and there's kids, and my kids will be able to be kids and be free. So, we have to do that whole getting to know each other, because, we have children, and, but I like to keep to myself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how my channel is going to evolve again. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then she was also saying, this content creator was saying, oh, why is Denise always looking over her shoulder? Why am I looking over my shoulder? Because I don't live in a very safe environment. Because you have to be aware of your surroundings. Even though I can see with the camera, I can see right here. But, this is not a very...
Okay, this brings me to another point. She's talking about, always looking around, always being aware of her surroundings. Is she teaching that to the girls? Because I worry about those girls. She's so mad that, what's the lady's name that runs the place or whatever? I'm drawing a blank right now. But anyways, she was complaining because there's a path that the girls, like, especially the older one, likes to walk on and everything. And now they're not allowed to be outside unless they have supervision. And she was complaining, like, she was mad because when other kids were outside playing and they had a parent, how come her kids couldn't be out there? There was a parent out there, not their parent. Like, but she would talk about them going on these walks on this trail and everything. And I admit I watch way too much true crime. I think of a child walking down a path, like a secluded path, and I think that is the perfect place for somebody to pop out and snag them. So, like, are you teaching the girls to be aware of their surroundings?
Very safe. I mean, it's been safe for me because I keep to myself. And, the office manager has, been doing a good job
Okay,
of
Waldo, you
keeping
have
the
a
place
great
safe and
weekend.
doing what that person has to
Thanks
do.
for
But
coming in.
I've always been like that. I've always been aware of my
Crystal,
surroundings. I've
thank
always
you.
looked around. I pay attention. I thought I saw a deer a minute ago over here somewhere, but I've always been like that.
It's a shame
Because
that
of my
fog light
childhood
keeps
traumas, I've
blinking.
always been like that. Looking around, being aware, and even though I'm talking to you guys, I have to, have to look upstairs. My kids are upstairs. But again, I don't know what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it. A lot of people have asked me for an apartment tour. I took off the Amazon housewarming gift list for the moment. And she was talking about that too. It is what it is, I like I said, the only way that I would do an apartment tour is for members only. There is a join button when you watch my channel, or maybe there's a membership. I think there's a join. It says join. I think for me to be to feel safe, I think that I am only going to do the apartment tour for membership only. You know, it's a little crazy, a little wild. I know that you have to have a very, very thick skin to be on YouTube, but I didn't think that YouTube was like that. And I don't want to put the safety of my kids in jeopardy by people knowing where I'm
What
going
bothers
next.
me is that she doesn't own any of it. When she sees reactors or commentators, um, commenting and reacting to her videos, the stuff that she's called out for, she never owns up to. It's always she's the victim. It just plays more into her victimhood.
And they're being so ignorant that they just blurt it out either
Is
on the
there a
live
grift
or
button?
on the regular YouTube Messenger. I don't know. So I thought about deleting my account. So I didn't, but I'm just telling you guys, we're okay. We're good. Girls are good. We're healthy. We're about to move out of here. So, school's almost over here in Tennessee on the 24th. Yeah. So I
Right.
understand. I don't understand if you don't like
Exactly,
me,
Peggy. That's what I'm
why
saying.
you
She
watching?
doesn't. She doesn't realize what she's gotten herself into. Because and I saw it happening. I saw it. If you guys remember the first couple times I covered her, I said she's going to be on reaction channels radar. Um, because of her behavior, she doesn't have any manners. When she's in the hotel room, keep in mind it's one room. It's not even like it's a suite or it's adjoining rooms. No, it is one hotel room. And she'll come on to do a mukbang. Now you're sitting down to eat, to do a mukbang, to do a live video. And she comes live with her big old plate of food in the front of her, and it's, "Bianca, can you get me a cup of ice? Can you get me a Pepsi? Bianca, can you get me a fork? Bianca, can you get me this? Can you get me that?" Blah 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 blah. Your entire room is what? 30 square feet? Like, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. It's one room. You can't get off your butt to walk over and grab a cup of ice. And why didn't you grab your cup of ice and your drink before you sat down? You knew you were sitting down to eat. Or why didn't you grab, like your ketchup or your mustard, your condiments? Nope. Everything she needs, that poor girl has to get up to get it for her.
You watching me? If you don't want to, if you don't like me because I smoke, you don't like me because I got fingernails over here, like y'all just commenting all this stupid stuff. Why she got her nails so long? She got money for cigarettes, but she ain't got no money for this. But then she asking for this, and I'm like, dude, like, it's crazy. Again, if you've never been in this situation, if you've never been a single parent, even in a 2-parent household, it's rough. It's rough. People have no shame. People just want to put stuff out there, you know, it's understandable. You know, you have your YouTube channel, you want to make your money and all this other stuff, but get your facts straight. Don't allow these people to put all this vindictive stuff on your channel and all these threats on your channel, because that's against YouTube's guidelines. You know, we don't get paid for that. We get paid for the watch hours, the view times, and all the other stuff. But
She don't even know. We don't get paid for watch hours. The only time your watch hours matter really is when you're trying to get your channel monetized. After that, we're not getting paid for watch hours. We're getting paid for views, and we're getting paid for super chats and super stickers. But she doesn't know how any of it works.
Goddamn comments, for real. You know, they can do whatever they want on their channel, but on my channel, I don't allow people to disrespect me. I don't allow people to disrespect me.
This isn't in this video, but this riled me up so bad. The one day she was waiting with Gypsy for the bus, and one of her youngest little friends came over, and the mom came over, and they were playing, and apparently they had a field trip that day, so the mother was putting sunblock on her child. And she offered to put some on Gypsy, and Gypsy said, "No, I don't need sunblock." And she was like, "Everybody needs sunblock." And Denise is like, "She don't need no sunblock. We're what did she say? Hispanic, I think was what she said. We're Hispanic." She's like, "We don't need sunblock." And it irritated the crap out of me, because look, the sun is not racist. The sun is not prejudiced. Like, everybody needs sunblock. It doesn't matter your color. The sun exposure can damage your skin. I'll tell you firsthand, because I have lupus because of it. So it irritated the crap out of me that she got like all like, whispering under her breath, rolling her eyes, like, making faces about this woman, saying that. And, she insisted, "We don't need sunblock." I've never worn sunblock in my life.
Respect you guys, the people who have been rocking with me, for whatever, a week, 2 weeks, a year.
Oh, really?
Whatever,
Sharpay?
And then, I don't know if I got
yes,
caught up in the
she
moment.
did.
I don't know if I just got, caught up with all the hype.
And that really rubbed Denise wrong.
I don't know, but I didn't like the way things were going. I didn't like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, because, I'm just thinking about it. Like, the whole week, I've just been thinking about it, and I got caught up with stuff that I shouldn't have I should have listened to me, taken my advice, and done and continued doing what I was doing on my channel, that I knew that worked for me, that I knew that, it was making me happy. It was making us laugh, have a good time. And
I wonder if this is the person that told her not to do lives, to just do recorded videos. Because I'll tell you what, that killed her too. The lives are what got her to 13K.
I feel like I was just
and you guys, it was crazy how quick her channel grew. She was below me in subs when she started really going hard and like live streaming every day, and trying to get subs. And I told pretty much all of my mods, I was like, she's not getting good subs. She's getting children, and she's getting haters. I knew, and I saw it coming. And that's exactly what she got. And so when her sub count didn't keep rising the way it was, she got discouraged. And instead of putting more work in, she backed away.
I don't know. I just feel a whole bunch of different things. I don't want to say too much, but I have a couple of regrets about the situation, and I'm going to try not to make that mistake again.
Wow, Sharpay.
But yeah, we should be moving out of here soon. Let me know your suggestions, your advice, your opinions. But I still like, when I do my cooking tutorials, I still like doing my mukbangs. I still like, showing you guys what I've cooked. So I think we're going to keep it like that. I don't think that I'm going to come back on live no time soon. Even though I like talking to you guys, I like interacting with you guys and kicking with you and laughing with you and stuff like that. But I think we're going to keep it simple, the way I used to do it, and just make videos when I move. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to position the camera to where you're only watching me cook, or I don't know how I'm going to do it. I really don't know. But again, we're safe.
We don't our crowd doesn't do that. Like our videos are adult only. The only time any of us let kids in is when Nick does her hatching streams. We don't we don't boot kids out of um the chat when she's doing hatching streams because that's educational and it's exciting for the kids and stuff, and they don't cause any trouble or anything. Um, but we also tell them, Nick's very clear that my normal streams, we do not allow children. You know, you can come into the hatching streams, but that's it. It just it grosses me out. And then she gets mad because she has all these kids in her chat and kids are rude and they ask, rude questions. And some kids literally come on just like the adults. Some kids come on just to troll. And you can tell that it's kids by how they troll. This stuff is very immature and stuff. But that she allowed that to happen. People kept telling her, these are kids, these are kids. And she let them stay in the chat. She let them subscribe and be a part of her channel.
We're good. I am still going through my depression. It kicked in about a week ago. I was going to tell you guys about it, but it's like I said, the older I get, the harder it is to control it. Depression is a real thing. The only time I got out of bed is when I have to take the kids to the bus stop, get them ready, or do what I got to do to take this information to the lady. But other than that, I've just been here thinking and taking naps. My hand has been bothering me for the last week. It's been feeling funny. It's been feeling different. It's been feeling very dry.
I wonder if she ever remember she needed to get Gypsy a pediatrician in order for the CPS to drop the case to close the case, I guess. I wonder if she ever did that.
I just don't know what to do. I know they're going to have to take off the whole finger because it's no point of just cutting that one piece and leaving that little stub. I just rather for them to cut it off. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know my hand, it's been really bothering me a lot. I haven't been able to sleep.
If she doesn't get, at this point, she needs major like rehabilitation therapy or whatever it's called, physical therapy on her hand, because her hand does nothing. It doesn't, her fingers don't move. They're always just extended. She just kind of holds that hand like it's nothing. And so I don't know if she thinks they're going to take that finger all the way off and then her hand's going to be fine. No, you're going to need to learn how to use that hand again. Oh my gosh, Sharpay mommy.
To sleep because of this issue, because of my finger issue, because, thinking about moving and a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you think that my life is so easy, if you think my life has been easy this last 2 years, it hasn't. It hasn't. It's been a struggle. It's been very stressful.
You are not the only one that has stuff going on in their life, Denise. Give me a break. Poor me.
I've gotten more gray hairs. It's been really bad. It's been really bad, and I can't control the depression. I normally can, but with everything that's been going on with YouTube, moving, school is about to end soon. Trying to keep food in the fridge. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So I'm hoping by moving, it will get better. My depression will never go away. I've had depression.
How is it going to get better? I don't understand. How do you think that it's going to get better? The only thing that is going to change is your surroundings. That's all. You're not getting any more money every month. You're not getting more food stamps every month. How is everything going to be better? And once you get into this apartment, there will be no more begging.
Since I can remember, maybe 8, 7. I think it's a hereditary thing. I'm not too sure. But I know I have always suffered from it. And it's a serious thing.
Oh, wow, Wing. That makes a lot of sense. Right, Krista. And you know what else bugs the crap? My husband, he's a recovering alcoholic. I don't know if any of you have any recovering alcoholics in your family or friends or close to you, but my husband drinks caffeine non-stop, either coffee or pop all day long. And here we are buying him Sam's Cola or RC, the cheaper pops because he goes through so much. No, no, ma'am. This woman will only buy Pepsi. She drinks Pepsi all day long. I don't know about where y'all are, but here Pepsi is like $14 a case.
Maybe in the future I might get help for it. I thought about that too.
Yes, same, Nick. Same, because like I said, I will go into her stream, into her chat, and I like her streams, and I enjoy her when she's not begging, when she's not poor me, um, and then I'll be enjoying myself, having a good time, and then she'll push the money, or she'll push a wish list, or she'll whatever. Honey, all you got to do is put it in your description, or put it um on your stream. You don't have to tell us nonstop. Everybody knows you have a Cash App. Everybody knows you have a wish list. Everyone knows that we can send super, the way she says it, you can send super chats and super stickers. Everyone knows that. Do we wake up in the morning and say, I think I want to go give to Denise this morning? No, because you know what? We all have problems.
It's a weird feeling having depression, but it is what it is. And let's see what happens.
Same here, Kristen.
In the next week or two, I might come
Yep,
on.
I will. Hold
and
on.
give you updates, but I don't know if I want you guys to know exactly when I move, or make it like a moving day video, or I don't know. I just know within the next week. That's all I got to say. In the next week, I just don't know if I want to give specific dates, time, and all that stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I just want to make a video when I'm there, like cooking or something, and I don't know. But in order for me to do a apartment tour, I think I'm only going to do that for members only. So I mean, if you want to join, you can. It's not obligated, but I don't know when I'm going to come back on, because I said what I said, I feel what I feel, and
Listen, memberships are really just for people to support you. It doesn't make it as safer for you to post something for members only, because haters will buy your membership so that they can see your membership posts, and then they will play them.
I'm honest, I'm truthful about it. If anybody that I don't know shows up here, I'm calling 911. I will fight for my kids. I will die for my kids.
Sharpay.
Don't make up stories that Bianca told you, something that's not true, to start
There's
something with me and her. I know my daughter,
Matchbox.
and I know that my daughter would never, ever give out any type of information to anybody. You said you talked to Bianca. You've never had my phone number. You've never even seen me in person. To come up with these lies. What makes me mad the most is the lies. It's you telling people my business like that, and then for this content creator to keep it on her channel. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You have to really read your comments. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm sure this video will pop up on her channel, and she'll start talking some stuff, and those people start saying stuff, and I just don't really care anymore. I just don't really care. You're not gonna stop me from doing what I'm doing. I like what I do. I don't love it anymore, but I like it. I could love it in the future.
But yeah,
we're gonna have to see what happens.
You said they're not going to stop you from what you're doing, but they have stopped you from what you're doing because you're not streaming.
And it is what it is. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you for letting me share. Thank you for letting me express myself. But I gotta go. I gotta put these kids to bed. I gotta download this video. It's gonna take a while. So I guess I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, if you want to join the membership, you can. Again, that's the only way that I'm going to do an apartment tour, if you're a member to my channel. If I start finding out that people are blurting out my location, I'm gonna have to make another police report. And I don't know if I would stop YouTube, period. Again, the safety of my girls are number one priority. Yeah, if I feel like somebody is threatening to go to the office or put my business out there,
that's okay.
Put my apartment number, if God knows if they ever find out, but I'm not gonna say nothing. Or if they put the apartment's name on there, I'll let the office knows I'm a YouTuber. They know, but I'll let them know again that somebody out there is putting out my business and threatening me and this and that and the third. You're not going to yeah, we're gonna have to see about that, because I would really have to get deep down and dirty and say names and yeah, put their business out there. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Catch you guys later. Deuces, pieces, bye. Thank you.
Deuces, pieces, bye. Thank you. I do actually like her ending when she ends like that. All right, guys, that was it. I was on my TikTok live one day and she popped in and got mad at me. Is anyone able to share Sharpay's link? Oh, did Winged leave? Bye, Winged. Have a good weekend. Maybe blah, blah, blah. Making stuff members only content doesn't stop anyone from doing something you don't want them to with it. Just look at exactly, Kristen. I'm a little slow, Danny. Forgive me. It's okay. I have to go, unfortunately. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, mods. Thanks, chat. Thank you, Flowers, for coming. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you guys, really. I was telling my nephew about a moment where Bianca and her were in an argument. Here's and this is not a good thing. I'm not happy for her in this, but I feel like thank you, Nick. I feel like she is going to have a hard time with Bianca. I feel like Bianca doesn't even like her mom. Like the way she speaks to her, the way she just anything Denise says to her, she acts like she doesn't want to, she doesn't want to be bothered with her. And I'm sorry, but like I said, I do love it when she calls her out on stuff. Like Denise will tell us she did this or she did that, and the girls will be like, "No, you didn't." Oh my gosh, Sharpay mommy. See, and that girl wants her anonymity. She does not want to be a part of that channel. Thank you, Peggy, for sharing Pam's. Bianca said you would know something about that. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, Brandy. Denise started blowing up my phone. Then she started blowing it up then, or she's blowing it up now, Sharpay? Oh, okay. Then she accused me of doxing her, telling her location, telling her. Oh. See, honey, if you don't trust your friends enough to not share that information, then you shouldn't be sharing it with them. Ugh. Wow. Well, Sharpay, I hope you put, some boundaries down with her because I feel like she does not know boundaries. She doesn't know what lines to not cross. Okay, guys. Well, I am going to hop off of here. Thank you I really cannot thank y'all enough for sticking by me, for not unsubscribing, for being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so because girl needs to get up in the algorithm again. And if you're watching on the replay, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so that you get alerted whenever I put up new content. And don't forget to pound that thumbs up. She has never been to my house and she is, wow. Yeah, don't ever. You might be getting, oh, Nick. Oh, also guys, for the trip, I have on my Amazon wish list all kinds of like strange, weird snacks. We're going to be doing a taste test. It depends on what all we get, whether or not it's going to be just one taste test or like different nights or whatever. I don't know. But Carl, you need to get on that, and so do you, Amy. And did you do that, Nick? Anyway, we're all going to do wish lists for strange snacks. If you guys want to participate in that, if you want to send us something for us to do the taste test when we're all together at the end of the month, then you can see my wish list in the description. Oh, I'm jealous, Nick. So jealous. All right, guys, I love you all. Thanks again, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.